Hey everybody. Hey Donovan.
Hey Justin. All right. Hey everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Toe Gym. You know, we've got the whole social distancing thing going here, as you can see in the studio here at Nashville Music Group. This is where Justin's been working on a lot of new music, where he's recorded previous music. Justin, I'm looking forward, we're all looking forward to hearing some of the stuff you've got cooking. But first let's talk about your most recent video, Back Where I Belong. My main comment after watching that, and I think a lot of people would agree, is just wow. It's an awesome song, awesome video. It's essentially a short movie.
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work to make it, but it was also a whole lot of fun, and we were fortunate to have a great cast. We got to shoot in a number of locations in Nashville, and that included a local Nashville college. So everything just kind of came together, and it was a cool experience. For anyone who hasn't seen the video, the story behind it is of a high school basketball star who's got kind of a terrific life, and then he's involved, and really is the victim, in a near fatal car accident, and that totally changes everything for him. And he goes from being kind of the top guy, in his town and stuff, to being the guy who can't even walk. And the video really follows his attempt to rehab and get to the point where he can walk by himself again. And eventually he achieves that milestone. And at that point he sets a new goal for himself, which is an even wilder type of goal, to be able to make a comeback, a miraculous comeback. On my way.
Justin, I love it, man. It's what a message of hope. Love the message of hope there.
Yeah, the video and the underlying song are all about believing that even if you're in a tough time in your life, when maybe, the situation or place you're in isn't what you want, just holding on to the belief that a comeback is always possible.
Yes, and that's awesome. And I know you've told me before, Justin, that the script for the video was based on a short story that you wrote. So technically it was fictional, but at the same time, you said based it off of a combination of actual stories. So can you elaborate a little on that?
Yeah, that's right. So basically, I took a number of different stories that I'd read about of athletes who were suffering potential sports career-ending injuries. Some of them were specifically in basketball, and their attempts to make a comeback. And some of them managed to achieve that. And I kind of combined those stories and different parts of them with my own personal story from when I did sports in college, and that resulted in Back Where I Belong.
Okay, Justin. Well, I need to hear this. All I know is that you did some kind of college sports, which doesn't surprise me at all because I've seen what you can do on a basketball court. We played together with the Y back in the day. But the college sport you did was football, I believe, and you told me you were a place kicker, but that's all I know. So can you just kind of fill us in on the story about what helped inspire the video?
Well, I did, football starting in my freshman year of high school, and primarily as a place kicker. And pretty much from the time I started it as a freshman in high school, I started thinking about how cool it would be to play college football, and to be on like a Division I team, playing these big stadiums, and being a part of that the college football atmosphere, and that became kind of a goal and a dream of mine. Even though I was told a good amount by different people, maybe I've got some good talent and stuff, but I never really achieved enough in high school to be able to be considered really a college prospect, or especially not a Division I prospect. But I decided to go for it anyway.
There you go.
So I attended the University of Memphis, and I managed to make the team as a walk-on. And once I was on the team, I was immediately placed last. Like, we had 6 kickers on the roster, so I was number 6. And the guys ahead of me included one guy who was one of the top rated prospects in the state of Tennessee coming out of high school. Another guy who was a freshman All-American at the University of Memphis and set a number of school records. And then another guy who was an all-conference player at Memphis, and he was like an NFL level kicker in terms of practice. Like, he would often not miss at all.
Wow.
And then there were two other guys who could boom kickoffs through the back of the end zone. And then there was me, the unrecruited walk-on.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting situation, you know. I was the smallest guy on the team. I'm pretty much positive the head coach didn't know my name, you know, the whole first year I was there. And even the equipment managers would like joke around about me and stuff. And you know, when you're a football player and you're being bullied by the equipment managers, that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
You know. So, but anyway, you know, I stuck with it and you know, just kept on working. And I made a number of friends on the team, and I got to watch Memphis beat several SEC schools my first year. And finally, that next spring practice, I got a chance to show what I could do, and you know, and what seems to me even today like kind of a small miracle or something. I went from like dead last on the roster, my position, to #1 over the course of that spring practice, and I was penciled in as the expected starting kicker for what was going to be my second season. So
wow,
crazy. And you know, I remember at that time, it was like a surreal feeling I had, like I was kind of floating in the clouds, so to speak.
I'm sure.
Yeah, because it's like everything was going my way, you know, all of a sudden. And I had all these players and coaches coming up to me, congratulating me, saying all these nice things to me. And, you know, and I had people who were fans of the team in town come up asking for my autograph. And I even was going up to different girls and just talking with them, which something I would have never really done much of before.
Yeah.
So it was like the future was really bright. You know, we were going to be playing Mississippi State University, which was a top 25 team to start the season. And then the next week after that, we're going to be traveling to Michigan to play University of Michigan in front of over 100,000 fans. So,
wow.
So I was about as pumped up as I could be, and I was told by the coaches all I needed to do was work over the summer to add a little bit of distance to my kicks, get just a little bit stronger. And so knowing I was so close to what I was shooting for, I made that my mission, you know, to do that. And I totally changed my training routine. Instead of doing a bunch of running, a bunch of kicking, very little weightlifting, I did the exact opposite. I started doing a whole bunch of leg weightlifting. I did no running, no kicking, and I started eating an extra peanut butter sandwich after every meal. So, but I did work hard. You know, I worked so hard. I remember quite a few times that summer I was like lifting so much with my legs. My legs would start bleeding all around, and I just keep on lifting even through that, and just, you know, determined to get stronger. And because I knew I was so close, you know. And then I finally started kicking again right before we were ready to start summer practice, and I did a few kicks that went well. You know, I was thinking I would add more distance because I was heavier, thought I was stronger. It seemed to work at first, but then I did a kick where everything changed, and it's like I was never the same after that. You know, I got a severe groin pull injury, which for a kicker is one of the worst injuries you could have.
The worst, probably, other than like ACL or something.
Yeah. It's bad because, I mean, it may only affect you when you're fully extending your leg. Maybe not in other actions, but as a kicker, you have to do that. And when I did that, it felt like I was being stabbed by like a dozen little knives in my leg. So it was very painful. You know, I was out pretty much most of the summer practice, and, you know, never became a starter, never got to play, and never really recovered from that injury, even years later, you know. So I didn't quit at that time. I was on the team 2 more seasons after that. You know, after that happened, 2 more full seasons, trying whatever I could to get better, seeing doctors, seeing different physical therapists, trainers, different rehab stuff, but nothing worked. And eventually I had to walk away and that was probably the closest I've ever come to feeling some kind of depression. Because even though it was just a sport, at the same time it's your goal, it's the dream you had, and you're as close as you could be pretty much, and then it's gone.
Wow.
And that's kind of my story, Donovan.
Wow. So I can really see how you drew from that story for the song and the video. It's in terms of the part about everything going like your way, and then all of a sudden everything just kind of flips.
Right. Except in the video, I made sure to give that story the kind of ending I wish could have happened in my case. You know, a triumphant comeback and a perfect ending.
I swear somehow I'll see this comeback through. And when that day comes, there'll be nothing left to prove. I know someday I will finally win. And when that day comes, I'll be back where I belong again.
So that's one of the best videos, and certainly the most meaningful and uplifting music video that I've seen in a very long time.
Right. Yeah, thank you. You know, everybody worked hard on it. Even the personal trainer guy.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I mean, okay, Justin, so just moving from an old dream of yours to a new dream, the music dream, can you give a little bit of insight on some of the new music you've been working on?
Sure. We've got a number of things cooking, and several songs. You know, some of them are brand new songs that were just written recently. Some of them I wrote and even in some cases recorded, you know, a year or two ago, but going back to revise them. They're getting close and should have a lot more info about at least one of them soon, probably on the next episode of Toe Jam.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll certainly look forward to that. And before we go, just need to tell everybody, remember to subscribe to Justin's YouTube channel. If you haven't already, follow him on like Spotify, all social media, Instagram, Twitter. And here recently, Justin, you've had a lot of success with Spotify. And so make sure to follow on Spotify, like the songs, and then subscribe so that you can get notifications when Justin releases new music too. So that's a big deal. So, but thank you all so much. We appreciate everything. We'll see you next time.